open up this Futelo welder, give you guys basically a full startup kit to start welding out of the box with this Futelo welder. Let's pop the box open, see what we got. We've got a manual here, we've got some gloves, we've got our spool. Well, for our MIG, we have our stuff for our stick welding. This looks like a spool of wire. This looks like some wire for sticks. That's cool. Some sticks. And then we have the machine itself. And this thing is adorable. That's pretty great. So, to get started here, we're going to get you started MIG welding today. We'll do stick at another point, but today we're going to get started with the MIG. And what I'm realizing is I think it showed glasses, and I was hoping it would have the glasses and I could use them. Maybe they're in here. Ah, yeah. Okay, so we've got the wire brush in here, and then we have their glasses. Now, I'm a welder, so I have some auto-dim helmet, but I sure might try these glasses out just to see if they are not terrible. They like shrink into each other. That's pretty cool. How do they look? Pretty sweet? Yeah. All right, good deal. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is we're going to take our lead and we are going to do our best to put it in here. Should go in and click. Yep, it actually kind of spins in and tightens. Okay. And then I'm going to take this, push it in, tighten its little deal, and there we have the entire front stick set up. Okay, cool. So now we need to open up our spool of wire. We're hoping it's what's in here. Sure is. It's got this piece of tape across with the stuff, the things in the stuff. And let me make sure that this is the start. It's kind of bent into the top pretty nicely, so that's cool. I'm going to grab a pair of wire cutters. I like to have a nice clean end. Nothing fancy here. Just going to cut this end clean so it doesn't have that bend in it. It's going to make it a lot easier to feed this wire. You run the wire underneath. Okay. This is like a twist-on little wire holder. And we're going to run it through this little spring-looking thing. Okay? And then put this back on. I hope. And the spring. We're trying to hold the wire in here so it doesn't just like shoot itself off of the spool. You want to run it to where I just undid this thing, and then I want to come over here now and try and run it into the other side, which is the one that goes into the gun itself. And there it is. Okay. And I'm kind of letting it loose, and that's annoying. But gotta get this spring-loaded doohickey back on here, and hopefully this will go smoother. Okay. Wow, it is just wants to unspool. Try and make this spool happy where it will stop. Maybe? Yeah, I wish you'd get this tight enough to where it wouldn't spin. But there's really no fixing for that. just going to plug it into this extension cord right now. And we're going to flip it on. We're going to see if this thing will feed some wire. So you're going to run the wire, and you're trying to pull the wire all the way through this, and it's going to come out the front of this. So we know it's feeding good, it's just pulling it really nicely, and pretty soon it should come out the front here. Sounds like it's getting close, and there it is. Boom. Easy as that. We have wire out the front. We have wire set in here. This spool is a little bit janky the way it holds, but it's going to work just fine. Fan is nice and loud. We need to go into the stick welding bag to get our ground. To weld, you need a ground and your other stuff. So we're going to get the ground, and we are going to put it, interestingly enough, I bet the manual says that we are going to do it opposite of what you think. So because it's flux core welding, it actually runs opposite. So I'm pretty sure this is going to go into the positive. Let me just double check the manual. So this should have a nice setup for us. It's got some really nice step-by-step directions that I just showed you guys everything. And the earth clamp showing arc. Let's see. You could run a TIG torch on this thing. Apparently does not come with a TIG torch though. Yeah, so it has, for MIG, it has the ground into the one that's labeled positive. So there's a positive and a negative, positive and a negative on the front of this thing, and you're going to put the ground clamp into the positive. It's kind of interesting. All right, let's clamp up. Just have this thing on an extension cord, so I don't know how much power it's going to have. I don't know anything about it. But what we do know is that in the time of this video, we are almost ready to weld. We're going to use everything that was included with this. It doesn't look like this has a thumb hole. Oh, the thumb is pressed in. All right, let's see how these gloves work. Using everything that is included with this kit is what I am doing for you guys. So I have all the right stuff, but I want you to know that you can weld and exist on everything that is included with this little kit right here. I got big old hands, so these don't really fit. Here we go, glasses. All right. And let's see what it does. Holy. Well, we blew the fuse instantly. A little bit too much for that there extension cord. I gotta work on my extension cord and reset it. Unless I just blew out the whole thing. I don't really know. But anyway, I have a 40 amp circuit right here. And I should be able to plug into that. Get you guys rolling. I would not run this on an extension cord, obviously. For obvious reasons. Alright. First thing it did was weld itself to the thing. Got tons of wire. Oh, we got everything at max currently. Alright, cool. Which one's wire? I don't know which one's which. This is the voltage. That's the wire speed. Alright, we're going to turn her down. A little too hot. Alright, here we go. Well, it welded something. These glasses work, but there, it is really bright. the glasses. I'm going to get my thing. But just for a quick weld, look what we got. That is in 10 minutes out of the box. We have something that welded. And I can't just break it off. Let's see. Yeah. That took a lot more force to bend than I thought it would. So, I'm quite impressed for how quick this thing's set up and worked. I'm going to put on a real mask, real gloves, see if we can lay some actual beads with this thing and figure out what it's actually worth here. So, but that is your initial startup video. That's exactly how you set this little welder up to run on flux core MIG. So far, I'm pretty impressed with how quickly it went. I like the size of this box, and I think that this thing is, for the price, I don't think you're going to get much better. So, I'm impressed. I like how simple it is. I would definitely recommend it, and I appreciate the brand for sending it to me to check out.